All right, friends. Number 4, page 535. It's not all going to fit. I don't have the stacked CDs like I do at home, but we'll move it around as needed. So for the circuit diagram, show it's V1 is 2.5. I got to take all my caps off probably. Oh wait, V is red. So V1 is 2.5. V3 is 5. I2 is 0.3. I3 is 0.5. I4 is 0.1. And R4 is 70. Okay, so just looking at this, this is the first place I'm going to go. Also, because I have I here, it's in series, it's not in parallel. The source, my source is going to be the same. So this over here also equals 0.5. 0.3, I said I'm going to start here, and I'm not. I'm just showing you the way my brain is working. You could start here. I could figure out R, the very first thing I do. But I'm also just seeing that this is 0.3, which means this one needs to be 0.2. Because in parallel, amps add up, and they have to equal what the other ones are in series. If this is 0.1, then the bottom one is 0.4, because 0.4 plus 0.1 is 0.5. Okay, so we got all our I's, right? So I can get the R here, I can get the R here, I can get the volts here. Once I have the volts here, I'll know them here. Once I know them there, I'll know them everywhere. Blah, 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 bleep, bloop. All right, so let's go here. R equals V over I, right? 5 over 0.5 is 10. That's R equals V over I. 5 divided by 0.5 is going to be 10. What do we got over here? Oh, I need red. So 70 equals V over 0.1. 70 times 0.1 is 7. Where else? Let's go to over here maybe. There's so many different things we can do. The 7, well, I have the red marker in my hand. Parallel, they equal, right? So this is going to equal 7. I want to do this one. R is V over I. 2.5 over 0.2. That's 25 over 2, so it's 12.5. The V2 here is going to equal 2.5 because in parallel they equal. And then for this, R equals V over I, 2.5 over 0.3. Well, that's not the best, eh? Was that 8.3 repeating? Is that right? 2.5 over 0.3. Let's just check. Where's my phone? 2.5 divided by 0.3 is 8.3, yeah. Now remember I said like the decimals make it a bit harder. This is 2.5 over 0.3 or 25 over 3. I might want to use that later and you'll see what I mean. So get that, because the R total will be more interesting to get. If we go down here, V over I, 7 over 0.4 is 7, well, let's punch it in. 7 divided by 0.4 is 17.5. Oh, it's nicer than I thought it was going to be. 17.5. Got them all. Okay, now so I is 0.5, that's done. V is, you add them up, right? So this is 2.5 plus 5 is 7.5. 7.5 plus 7 is 14.5. Wrong color. 14.5. And now the r's, we're going to add them up after we figure out these two parallel ones, okay? You could maybe call this P1 and this P2. I'll get a different piece of paper just to do the work on, because I wouldn't take up this much space if I was just doing it on my own, you know, like Friday nights. What are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to do circuitry questions. So this first one says 1 over R, we'll call it P1, equals 1 over 12.5 plus 1 over 8.3 repeating. Now remember I said this. Decimals and fractions is kind of gross, so I'm going to change that a little bit. So I'm going to make this 2 over 25 because it's the same proportion. I'm going to double top and bottom. Over here, this is 25 over 3, right? 1 over 25 over 3 equals, remember you flip and multiply? So it's 1 over 1 times 3 over 25. So this equals 3 over 25. So it's plus 3 over 25. Does that make sense? Am I going too fast? That equals 5 over 25, which equals 1 over 5. That's not what the parallel equals. That's what 1 over the parallel equals. 1 over RP1 equals 1 over 5. So therefore, RP1 equals 5. So the R here is equal to 5. RP equals 5. When you add them, it's going to be 5 plus 10, but we've got to figure out this one over here, this bottom one. So for the bottom one, 70 and 17.5. So 1 over RP2 is 1 over 70 plus 1 over 17.5. Nice. 17.5. I don't want the decimal, so I'm going to change that. 1 over 70 plus 2 over 35. Okay? We need a common denominator, so I'm going to double this one again. 1 over 70 plus 4 over 35. Over 35. Ugh. Over 70. Right? I multiplied this by 2 over 2. So this equals 5 over 70. That's what 1 over RP2, I'm just calling it RP2, the second parallel. So it equals 5 over 70, which means that RP2 equals 70 over 5, which is going to be 12, 13, 14. RP2 equals, what did I say? 14. Now the thing is, done all this work, I'm going to add this up. So it's 5 and 10, so that's 15. 15 and 14 is 29. If these three don't have the R equals V over I relationship, then I've screwed up somewhere. And I really hope I didn't. 29. This actually doesn't look good. Oh, I think it is good. So that's 29 equals 14.5 over 0.5. Does it? Well, 14.5 divided by 0.5. Phew. I really didn't think it was going to work. I thought I did something wrong. Does that make sense? It's like a puzzle. You do what you can. It's like an escape room. You do something over here, okay, and that leads to over here. That means this is this over here. But this one, I don't know what to do here. Okay, what else can we do? Oh, this one's not complete, blah, blah, and then that helps getting here, and then it goes here, blah, 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 blah. Make sense? Do you see everything you need to see? I'm going to make sure it all kind of gets on the screen for a few moments. So you want to pause it and look at it or something? And if it doesn't make sense, tough. Just kidding. If it doesn't make sense, let me know. Goodbye.